How to rent an apartment in Fukuoka without a Japanese guarantor, key money, or agent fees. Use UR Housing. I'll show you how. I'm Dan, welcome back to the channel, and this is something I like to call the Fukuoka connection. Renting an apartment in Fukuoka can be a difficult process. 90% of private landlords in Japan will require a Japanese guarantor, a local person who takes legal responsibility for your financials if you cannot pay your rent on time. If you don't have a guarantor, you'll be rejected. So if you've tried and failed at the regular real estate agents in Japan, and you don't have a guarantor or an N1 Japanese level, you might be wasting your time. The solution is UR Housing. UR means Urban Renaissance, and here in Japan, it's a government-managed housing system. By law, UR cannot require a guarantor, they cannot charge key money, and they cannot charge agent fees. To rent these apartments, you only need a valid residence card and proof of income, or the liquidity to pay for a full year of rent up front. That's the entire requirement. So before I found my current apartment, I attempted the traditional route. Most foreigners start their search with major local agents. I went to Daio, a prominent real estate agent here in Fukuoka. The experience at Daio was dead end. In minutes, the conversation stopped dead with one question. Do you have a Japanese guarantor? And when the answer is no, the search ends before it even begins. In Japanese, chintai, or private rental system, you are essentially invisible without a guarantor. Landlords view foreigners as a high-risk liability, and Daio, like many others, acts as a gatekeeper for those landlords. In all respect, if you don't fit the rigid profile, they won't even show you properties. It's a waste of your time and mental energy. So stop going to rental agents that require a guarantor that you don't have. If you're facing these issues, that's why I recommend UR. I visited the UR office in Tenjin to document the actual process you will encounter. It's fundamentally different from a private agent. Let me show you. You don't need an appointment, you can walk right into the office. The staff are not commission-based salespeople. Their job is to fill vacancies and not judge your profile. I was lucky enough to be paired up with an English speaker. Well, not a fluent speaker, but if you speak more English than Japanese than I do, you're an English speaker. She was very helpful, walked me through all the information that I need, and I'm happy to share that with you. So 1, just walk in. 2, the database search. You provide your desired neighborhood, like Hakata or Chuoku, and your budget. They will show you a live database of every available unit in Fukuoka. There's no hidden inventory. What you see is what's available. 3, the immediate viewing. If a unit you like is vacant, you can set up a viewing right then and there. For guidance, an agent may meet you at that unit and show you the place. You can walk around the building, inspect the area and the room. If you're interested, you set up an application and then a contract. Number 4, the application. If you want the room, reserve a spot. There's no landlord screening, there's no waiting for approval. As long as you meet the financial criteria, the contract is generated. So what is the financial criteria? Because there's no guarantor, UR uses strict financial benchmarks to ensure that you can pay. You must meet one of 2 paths. Path 1, the income path. You must prove your monthly income is at least 4 times the rental amount, or a flat rate, usually around 25 yen, or 250,000 Japanese yen, per month for a single person. You prove this with your Japanese employment contract or tax certificate. If you have a stable job in Japan, this is the standard route. Path 2 is the cash path. If you've just arrived, you have no job, or a student, you use the prepayment system. You pay 12 months of rent up front, plus a 2-month security deposit, so 14 months on the whole. For a typical apartment, this might be 1.2 to 1.5 million Japanese yen in liquid cash. By paying up front, you bypass the income requirement entirely. This is how many foreigners secure their first home in Japan without a local paycheck. Maybe it sounds too good to be true. Let's run through some pros and cons. So 3 pros and 3 cons. Pro 1, there's no hidden costs. In a private rental, you pay reikon, or key money, which is a non-refundable gift to the landlord. You also pay an agent fee. At UR, these fees are 0. Your move-in cost is strictly your deposit and your first month's rent. Pro 2, standardized quality. UR buildings are earthquake resistant, they're solid, and professionally maintained. You aren't dealing with a small-time landlord who ignores repairs or simple patch jobs. The infrastructure is solid, and the neighbors are established. No discrimination. Apart from the simple process, because it's a government entity, UR cannot legally discriminate based on your nationality or other factors. If you have the money or the income, you get the apartment. Now, what are 3 reasons why UR might not work for you? 1, the scarcity problem. The most popular buildings, like in Hakataku or maybe near your school, are almost always full. You cannot wait for a room to open. The area or the room or the building that you want might not be available. So the best thing you can do is join a waiting list or check the website daily for open units. That way, when something does become available, they'll give you a call and you can have a viewing. If you need something sooner, you might not get the exact one you were hoping for. Con number 2, upfront liquidity. If you're using the cash path, you need significant savings. For some, coming up with $10,000 up front isn't always financially feasible and a major barrier. Con number 3, rigid rules. UR is a bureaucracy. There's no negotiating, and at most, if not all UR buildings, there's no pets allowed. And noise and trash regulations are strictly enforced. To a degree, maybe it's a high-order environment. So, securing fees up front is only the first step. When you walk into a UR apartment, you might notice something. It's completely empty. Maybe there are no light fixtures, there's no curtains, there might not be an air conditioner, perhaps not even a gas stove. It's a concrete shell. And most people might underestimate the hidden move-in costs of outfitting a Japanese apartment. So, in my next video, I'm going to show you how I furnished this entire apartment for less than $2,000, and the shops you should visit in Fukuoka. So check out the description for the address of UR in Tenjin. There are other offices in Fukuoka as well. And check the link for the vacancy portal. Perhaps don't waste your time with agents like Daio that require a guarantor, and avoid paying key money and any other fees. Go directly to the UR office. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. ありがとうございます。